All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today we have another packed episode. We're going to talk about a little bit about Josh Luber's paper that he recently put out about trading cards being cool again. Going to get into some Facebook Q&A. We've got play of the week and, of course, the latest launch. But we will start, as always, with what's on your mind. And Ty, I think we're going to start with you, as Lou pointed out before we started that you've got some new lights in the background and they seem to change color at random.
Yeah, I had to get focused over the weekend, and I brought in a new light bulb. Kind of holds me down a little bit. Keep the energy fresh. Lou's got a tree back there, so I needed some.
I was thinking about getting those sun lamps because it's about to get real dark real early in the world here.
For the desk,
just right here, just shining right on my face. Yeah,
I get it. The main thing that's on my mind other than the light, Jokic bodied my man Morris last night. That was crazy. Steph Curry. I just need to get all of the Steph Curry cards.
He went for 50 last night, right?
Yeah, it was just being silly.
Yeah.
It was being super silly.
Sorry.
No. And then what I'll say at the end to finalize my what's on my mind, even though it was brief. I got cleated so hard playing soccer last night and was in so much pain and continue to be in a lot of pain right now. And so whenever you're watching footy and there's a dude rolling around on the pitch, realize that
probably lying.
half-inch metal spikes are going into these dudes' toes and ankles, and it hurts a lot. That's what I'll leave you with.
What time did you play last night? 10, 15?
9.
Oh, okay. That's pretty early, honestly, for that league.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't sleep that well, and then I got a bad ankle. Woke up not feeling too hot. But we got the light, so we're good. And we got the boys.
Lou, what about you?
Jason's going to love this.
You got a little extra time this week. Tyler gave you a little more time than usual.
It's a good point. Jason's going to love this.
Keep
the
on
thing that I've been thinking about the most, I have to be honest, the thing I spent the most time thinking about over the last 4 or 5 days is VV. Wow. I just love VV. Wow. And let me give a quick synopsis of why I think it's different than other stuff. I think I've been the one who's been pretty anti, quote unquote, digital collectibles, NFTs, things of that nature. People would say I'm anti NFTs. It's not true, but I think the partnerships that they're running with are actually really interesting. The Disney ones that came out today are really interesting. I did try to buy one. I didn't get one. I will be trying again today. I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, Jay, you're saying Pokemon soon, supposedly. This is when you lose me. Pokemon's gonna put out their own NFTs. But I'm very interested in this thing. I'm very interested in the little community that's building up around it. There is, of course, a community of flippers. I think there's a real community of collectors with VV as well, which draws me to it. And so if you don't know about VV, I'd recommend checking it out.
Wow. Yeah. I definitely do not know anything about it. Other than
get on that, right?
You and Jay and Ty texting about it every now and then. I'll see it pop up. Definitely don't know anything about that. What's on your mind? It definitely sucks to lose fantasy football games in work leagues by 1 point. I mean, just absolute soul crushing. To be up 37 points with Dustin having Freiermuth and Najee Harris left is an absolute just soul crusher to the start of your week.
Dustin buried you?
Just buried me. And we were live on Whatnot last night selling stuff and just, kind of derailed it at the end as we're down to the final 5 or 6 cards. And I got to watch Dustin kick and shout and celebrate as, he's also a Steelers fan, right? So not only does he barely beat me, he barely beats the Bears. So he gets both wins when I was, hopeful he would get, neither. So definitely disappointing. But yeah, to be honest, what's on my mind is actually really the next thing I want to talk about. I know you guys said you didn't get through it all, but I read all of Josh Luber's paper about trading cards, and it says, I think the title is trading cards are cool again. I read that. I know Jason had reached out and said it was pretty good. And I had a couple people on Instagram DM me talking about it, saying it was pretty good. And just wanted to chat a little bit about that. There were some points I had taken from the article. Lou, I believe you read some of it as well.
Yeah, I read chunks, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not the best reader in the world. So like when you put a nice screenshot in, I'm going to stop and I'm going to read around the screenshot. So I was reading around the screenshots primarily. But you know, I think for people like us, the three of us here, right? Like we know what's in there. I wouldn't say there's anything like too like shocking in there, right?
Yeah.
It was more of like a get everything in one spot, and Josh did a really good job doing that. There was a lot of that. The timeline he did was really interesting, where it was like, this is what happened in 2021 in cards. It's like kind of crazy to look back on. But the one thing I did want to like call out up front is the way he had the pricing and the, you know, I think it's pricing, people, companies, how he had that like broken out in terms of like where those three things stand. I think he said prices were the furthest along, which is probably fair, and companies were like the newest and like still in the earliest stages. So yeah, so I think, you know, for people like us, we know what's in there, but for someone who's brand new into cards or is looking to catch up and kind of wasn't paying attention to last year when things went down, I think that's a good recap.
So there were four screenshots I took while I was reading it. I'm like, these things stand out to me as like talking points that like, I'm like, this is what I agree with, or this is very interesting. So the first one, these are just all direct quotes or direct, paragraphs from the article. The first one says, stated simply, someone knows they are overpaying for a card now, but is okay doing so because they have disposable income. They want the card now, and most importantly, they believe it will eventually be worth that price. Whether that card stays at the new high price is a function of how many other people share that belief. If enough people believe that, then the future becomes now, and we have a new market price. So this is when they were talking about, if you read the article, it talks about like the Mark E. Mark theory, about like how the 2 Jordan cards sold for $730,000 in January, right? If 2 people believe that this is $1 million card and have disposable income, and they're like, hey, it's only worth $500 now, but I want one. I know it's going to be worth $1 million later. I'll pay $700 for it now. That's how this kind of article talks about. I've done this like as I was getting into cards more, and like when I was buying like LeBron Topps rookies, when those were, PSA 9s were a few, $100, not, I think now they're about $1,000 a piece. Like I remember buying 9s for $165, which was full market at the time. But I remember this thought process in my head that like, hey, this card I feel like is a good long-term hold. I'm going to buy it now and pay market for it, right? Or above market for it because I believe in this card 10 years from now. I'm buying it for the future, not for right now.
Yeah. I mean, I would be careful around the whole, people have disposable income they're spending. I think a lot of people are spending money they don't necessarily have, but that's something that I hold separately.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, so again, please, I'm not using this as like a, hey, go buy something you believe in. And
sure.
1.25 market on everything.
Yeah.
This was interested by the take, right?
Yeah. I think that's probably another way to break down how the prices have risen over the last 2 years. You know what I mean?
All right. So the next one, Ty, you have any thoughts on this, or can I move on?
Nope. Keep going.
Right.
I'll jump in.
So the next one is something I actually brought up on Whatnot last night. And
how was Whatnot?
It was great. Yeah, it was good. I've gone live on Whatnot and Loop twice, and we can talk more about that later. But they're both.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, I like them both.
Primarily as a sale, like a form of like online shop sales trade night type deal.
Yeah, so a mix of fast hitting electric auctions with instant gratification. Buy it now. Don't have to wait. Quick, like the casino thing. Again, that's where Loop is. Like, you want a box, you want it ripped now. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Whereas Whatnot takes the, hey, 30 seconds, a minute, sudden death. It's electric. There's no extended bidding. Winner go home. $500 cards in under a minute, right? It's kind of cool. So they both have.
And were you aware of like how many people were tuned in?
Yes.
What was that number like?
Last night on Whatnot, we peaked at 360 and average was 225, 240.
That's great. And they're all probably like qualified buyers, meaning on there to want to grab something.
Yeah. I
Do you feel that obviously you have a brand and presence and community and can draw an audience? How about, would you recommend for kind of people that have not been able to get to shows to check those products out and for sales stuff?
Like, do I think people should use the apps?
Yeah,
to
like
buy
an
or
individual
sell?
that sets up at a show that doesn't have a big social media audience, are they going to be able to go on there and get an audience and demand for
Yeah,
their
I mean,
card?
I was scrolling through like other lives when I was on both apps, and there's typically a decent amount of people on there. I think both apps do a nice job of like marketing, like, hey, people are live, wide variety of stuff. I think that, that's what I like about both of the apps is they're invested in the sellers on there. Like those apps don't want the people that want to use their product to fail, so they have
Mhm.
a vested interest in anybody that decides to sell in the app.
Yeah. I've been hearing good things, so I just wanted to tap into how it was for you a little bit. But back to your second screenshot.
So the second screenshot talks about the point that I believe to be true in the long run is as technology advances and additional marketplaces pop up and are popular for buying and selling cards like Loop, like whatnot, like many others, which I'll talk about here. It talks about the point that like people are looking for cards in different places and comps are going to fluctuate on different apps, right? So like it talks about here, like there's 3 different people. Somebody lives in California, wants a Kim K. I think it's talking about Kim Kardashian autos. Like somebody's in California, wants Kim Kardashian auto. They go to their local card store. The other guy was like Carter, finds one at a card show. And then another guy like is on like loves the movie Player One and finds one in the metaverse or just goes on eBay and buys one, right? So you've got 3 different people looking for the same card, finding them at 3 different places. And I think in time that's going to play out interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with eBay, Golden, Heritage, Alt, whatnot, Loop, card shows, card shops. Like there's a million different places to sell cards anymore. So like I saw somebody on Instagram the other day. I do not remember the account. But they posted a screenshot of a Klay Thompson NTRPA that sold on Golden and a Klay Thompson NTRPA that sold on Alt. The Alt one sold for like 12.5. The Golden one sold for like 20 some thousand, like 24,000, right? On like the same day or the same week of they sold two almost identical cards selling for completely different prices. I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out in time.
Aggregators of sorts, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is like that's sounds like there's going to be room. It's kind of funny how things are always, like circular. Like there's some sort of price guide that comes out that you can get all the different prices for all the different items that you're looking for, no matter what marketplace you're on, whether you're on eBay or you're on wherever else. You know what I mean?
But I actually didn't think about this as an opportunity to plug Card Ladder, but like that's literally why
that's pretty much what Card Ladder is.
That's why Card Ladder is
they're amazing,
as valuable as it is, right? Because they track all of those places, right? So they're tracking all of these private sales. I mean, I understand they're not checking card shows as much, but they do private sales, eBay, Golden, places like that. So I think it'll be I think that's why Card Ladder is so valuable. Totally. Next one. So this one talks about ROI, ripping wax, and the balance that companies have to have to make sure that like when you're ripping product, you still have the ability to pull something. So I'll read the whole paragraph because I just remember screenshotting it. I don't remember specifically, but it says actual ROI equals actual value of cards pulled plus appreciation plus expected value of player emergence over time plus the experience. This is, of course, different from the fact of that typical ROI is negative. Typical ROI is always negative, but how negative still matters. If the size of the difference grows too large or the promise of future appreciation seems too remote, then people will stop buying wax. Insofar as wax is the lifeblood of the hobby, the potential for our industry's macro growth is very inextricably tied up in this very tricky problem. So it's pretty damn important we get it all right.
Inextricably.
Is that the word?
Inextricably?
Inextricably?
No, it's inextricably.
Inextricably. Inextricably, I know what that word is.
And maybe that's what it is.
In a way that is impossible to disentangle or separate.
Yeah.
Inextricably.
There we go.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. And everyone gets mad about there's a million different parallels and packs and everything like that, which is true. It's annoying. There's too many, blah, blah, blah. But like these companies got to make you want to open a pack. You know, there's going to have to be retail exclusives, and there's going to have to be T-Mall and like all that, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So it's kind of part of it. It's an unfortunate reality. What do you think is the most important part of that for the average person opening a box of that equation? I think it's the enjoyment more than anything.
Well, that's
I think
about
people will
breakers,
be glad to
right?
lose money.
Really?
No, I think it's about people just opening product in general.
I'm not sure I'm saying that is the number one thing for everybody. I think that's why a lot of people rip product, but I think the ability to pull 6-figure cards, like the lottery ticket aspect, like, because that's what a lot of it is ripping is gambling. So again, I think it just depends on who you ask, right? Like,
yeah, I guess that's fair.
It's different for different people.
Yep. It's a good point.
All right. So the last one talks about, this is something we saw a lot. Like I remember talking about this where people are like, hey, I can't wait till the days that box prices come down. I can't get any first off the line product. It's all the robots, like, all, you know, and that might have been the case, right? Bots are getting everything. So the section says this, and this is the last one. It says on sneaker Twitter, the paradox of supply is on full display at least once a week. Scroll through your timeline on release day and you'll see thousands of sneakerheads nursing their L's, ranting and raving that Nike does not make enough shoes. Their tweets are crystal clear. Nike, make more shoes. But they don't actually want there to be more shoes because then there wouldn't be rare and then they wouldn't be valuable and
Facts.
They wouldn't be cool. What each
Facts.
and every tweeter wants is for Nike to keep supply exactly where it is, but for he or she to be one of the lucky ones to actually get a pair. And I think this is important because I think that is what the exact same thing that translates to cards too. You don't want Panini to make 10x the product they're making now so you can afford a box so cost goes down. You just want it to be able to, like, you want to be able to get one of those boxes at an old cost while the supply is the exact same.
100% the truth. We talk about that on here too. Like, it's like, you know, everyone wants just enough made for them to be able to get theirs and make their money, or to be able to get theirs, period. Whether it's to open it, whether it's just to open it and then they can get a rare card, or it's to sell it and make money.
Yep, agreed. Enjoy breaking it or to make money. You still want to be able to get one of them at the price. So that's what I took away from it. Like I said, if anybody has time and interest in reading it, I would definitely recommend it.
Was that the apartment phone from Lou?
Yeah, my coffee's here. What's up, bro?
Large iced?
Medium, you know, just trying to keep my caffeine intake lower.
Gotcha.
Jet fuel.
Yeah, my throat isn't doing too hot today.
Oh, yikes.
Just putting it out there for everybody.
Yikes. All right, we're doing Q&A.
Yeah, so we'll get into Q&A. Again, if you guys ever want to submit a question for Q&A, make sure you check out the Card Talk Facebook group. Jason will submit typically questions once a week for Q&A questions on there. So make sure you guys check it out. So these are typically meant to be rapid fire. So we'll see how this goes today. It says Yaren asks, rookie sticker auto versus second year on card auto. Rookie sticker.
Huh. I'm gonna go rookie sticker as well.
Rookie sticker. On card is glorious, but
yeah, the rookiness matters more.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed. All right. Ty Smith asks, I'm a longtime collector of baseball, football, and basketball cards. But just like Tyler said in my last question to him, those aren't the three big sports. So if I was looking to expand my horizon into say either soccer cards or F1 cards, what would be the easiest way to learn those cards and what I'm looking for? P.S. Astros still stink.
You stink. You stink.
So if I was looking to expand my horizon and say soccer cards or F1 cards.
Ty, I know there was something you talked one time about, like the FIFA rankings. I know you were big on that.
Yep. So I think the first thing is, what would be the easiest way to learn those cards? What do you go to blowout? Like, what do you look for calendar of release?
Blowout release calendar.
So that's the first thing I do is I'd go to blowout release calendar and just look at the different sets, right? If you're coming in from a complete fresh eye perspective, first you got to know what are the products that are coming out. check out some checklists, start to get an understanding of what that looks like. Then you got to get into the players. There's many ways to do that. Obviously, Google is your friend, whether it's you want to find legends, whether it's you want to find prospects. That's all incredibly Google. There's the FIFA Ultimate Team rankings. I'm trying to remember what the name of that thing was. Futhead is one. But you can to pretty much look up who are the biggest prospects. And it's just about doing the research that way. Checklists, product, research, listen to Card Talk, go to 1:37 p.m. and read all the articles that we constantly put out. We just did a top 25 soccer cards, biggest soccer cards ever sold. There you'll get an understanding. PSA pop reports. Once you identify some guys you want to look into, check out there for their earliest products. eBay, pick up raw cards, slab stock, etc. Raw to grade. Go through Card Collector to grading if you want, or just buy them straight off eBay. PSA. Jemmys only.
Yeah, Jenny's only. I also think another way to do it is like, I like to follow breakers to know what product's coming out.
That's
because like
one.
Friday nights, I'll just jump on Instagram as I'm just sitting on my couch not doing anything.
Who are some of your favorite breakers to follow?
Card Collector 2, Rated Rips, shout out Rated Rips. Those are my two favorites, and then I like to go on Loop. Those are my two favorites, and then I go on Loop.
Yeah, I
and
think
Loop is LOUPE.
Yeah,
correct. I go on the app. I see what's popping in there.
I think that's a very undervalued part of the hobby and the learning experience is if you know nothing about cards, you can find out very quickly what is a good card and what is not a good card if you follow someone breaking that is honest, right? Like, hey, oh, nice, we pulled this Mukoko rookie. Like, cool. Like, now you know, hey, this guy's good, right? People liked pulling him. I think you can learn a lot from watching a breaker or even box breaks on like YouTube or something like that if you want to watch it not in live time. But with the way the market's expanding, it's almost impossible now to not find somebody breaking live at this point, whether it's on Loop, whatnot, Facebook, Instagram. There's almost always, I mean, Cards and Coffee pretty much breaks 24/7 at this point. So I think that's interesting. Ty, I haven't looked too much into it, but again, I know Card Ladder has a lot of data. I don't know. I promise I'm not being paid by Card Ladder.
No,
I promise.
No, they just have a good product.
Right.
I believe the product is very good. But you can go on there and like check their like the Card Ladder. There's like 725 popular soccer cards on here. It talks about different players, different grades, raw, SGC, PSA. There's some product, but I was able to get on here and sort it by soccer, and it, you know, I'm on the bottom, and it literally ranks them in value. Where the number one card is the card Tyler wants, the Ronaldo Mega Cracks, PSA 10 137, and then you scroll all the way down and you get to Haaland autos or Mbappe 17 Select PSA 9. You keep going and you get to
the field. What is it? Field level?
Yeah, it's a PSA 9's worth 200 some bucks. Or a 2016 Ronaldo Select PSA 10's worth $75, right? Just talks about a lot of different stuff on here. I'm not sure this is where you might deep dive into like some of the upcoming soccer guys. Like, I think that's where you can learn more from like breaking and stuff like that. But in terms of like popular soccer cards now, I think this is a good tool.
Agree. So,
Alec Dudley said, for somebody in college, what is the best way to invest in the card market? Being on a budget during school is something I feel like holds me back, and I'd like to know the best way to invest while in school. So for me, when I did this in school, when I was trying to build a card business while going to college, typically and I still do the same thing now, right? I'm looking for bulk that I can break down and do the work on, right? That's where 90% of like money is made. That's why you save more money going to Costco than you do buying one thing at Walmart, right? The more work you're willing to put into it and the more you're trying to buy at one time, typically the better discount you get. So finding lots for $300 that I can break down and do all of the work on, right? Sell, list them, scan them, ship them, because that's where you get the biggest break is doing all of the work, taking on all of the risk from somebody else, right? Somebody rips an entire case of Absolute Football. That's a lot of cards, right? A lot of sales, a lot of individual transactions, scanning, shipping, the risk that somebody wants to return them, or they're upset that the card is dinged, or the package gets lost in the mail. There's value there in taking on that risk for someone that doesn't want to do it. that's what I'm doing is I'm buying a lot for $500, $300, $1,000, $200, whatever you can afford. And I'm breaking it down, right? I'm doing the research ahead of time on eBay, checking what they're worth. I'm making good margin, but I'm doing all of the work. I'm doing the transaction, right? And there's also value in that. Selling the card, shipping the card, messaging customers. I think there's value in that too. So for me, that's what I would do.
I'm of the belief if you do that one time, you will understand cards better than like 95% of people who do it. I think the combination of making a deal, doing research, listing, selling, shipping is like the most all-encompassing thing you can do. And once you do it one time, you know how to do it for everything else forever. If you do that with 10 cards, you know how to do that forever afterwards.
Agree with everything. To hit a different angle at it, I also think that sometimes people lack patience, or like we see it in NFTs right now, VV, a lot of different places. But you can also, I think, compounding savings, well, fine, whatever, but Rally, I think there's some good stuff on Rally. I think that and if you're in a fraternity or your freshman dorm floor, like going 5 ways on like a bit of a piece to like have for the 4 years of college. I think that there's another angle that is a little bit more patient. Obviously, if you want to get into the business of things, but I also can worry that sometimes it is work. And when I hear that question, it's like people want to make an investment in something, they buy something, and then they don't know, they don't see it through, and then it's just a card sitting there, And I think that
it is. And I was going to say it's kind of like a research project in school, so you have to like really want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to really want to do it, and if that sparks and catches you, amazing. But there's a lot of individuals in college that want to invest, and then it's like, oh, I made $45. That's not investing. I paid that in beer last night. So I do think sometimes, like think long term. Go in for $250 on something on Rally, and see what happens in 2 years. Is another play.
Agreed. I love it a lot. Totally different perspective. Agreed, 1,000%. Matt Merrill says Jordan Love or Jordan Dove look like a bust on prime time.
They cut down the tree outside my window.
Is now the time to double?
The week of Sunday Jordan night. Dove, they cut down the tree.
Is now the time to double down or GTFO?
I don't think it's fair to make a judgment off of a player, off of one start on a whim.
We never made the initial bet, so I don't know where the double down comes from. I feel like Jordan Dove didn't get the most praises, didn't get any flowers on this show.
He didn't get any flowers, but
I mean, I tried to sneak him in as like a potential guy that matters, and
it's a tough ask to start on Sunday Night Football on a whim when your quarterback is, in a little bit of a firestorm, no matter how you choose to perceive that.
Yeah, unique circumstances.
Unique circumstances is a great way to describe it. It's very unique.
Yeah, some extra attention. Yeah, like people said about, when I posted that thing on Twitter that blew up, right? Totally just, satirical that like, hey, should the Jets move on from Zach Wilson with Mike White? And people are like, dude, you're overreacting. It's 2 games. Same thing here.
True.
Right?
I'm kind of there.
Mike White was kind of looking good.
What'd you say?
Mike White was kind of looking like a franchise quarterback.
Dude, threw for 405 yards. No one else in the league did it that week.
He also came out hot
guns blazing
on Thursday night. Hot.
So, yeah, I just one game is definitely an overreaction. I think time will tell, but it doesn't mean he's not good. It doesn't mean he's not bad. It just one game's probably an overreaction. All right. Logan Elise says, where do you see Card Talk in 5 years?
Over the hill for sure.
Yeah, finished.
Oh, super over the hill. Where do we see Card Talk in 5 years? In Dallas.
Early.
Mucking it up.
I was literally going to say, like, literally in this exact spot, ideally.
I was waiting for Tom to say something about, like, the metaverse or...
Yeah, we're bringing in VR.
Everybody's got VR on.
We did the metaverse. Boys, we held a show called Card Talk Live. That was the metaverse.
Yeah, but we weren't, like, a digital face.
We might as well have been digital faces. I was in my bedroom. someone called in from their car on the way to basketball practice. Like we were
That's true,
metaverse
somebody
out.
I think it'll be
Pat
Tyler.
McAfee was naked, pulls up naked.
It'll be Lou and like Zipper running like the show. And Tyler
That sounds
and Lou and I
great.
we'll just make guest appearances every now and then.
We're
I
gonna
don't know
be
what he is.
yeah, the show's gonna be live from New York. Car talk? No, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there for sure. 5 years from now, we're already over a year in.
We already over a year in.
All right. So I know this question got brought up. Jason had mentioned this before. So it says Lewis Hamilton or Tom Brady. Who is the goatiest GOAT? And I know what your reaction will be, but really think about it. So I don't know the history
Yeah,
of
it's hard
Lewis
to say.
Hamilton enough to give a fair judgment on this. So in my eyes, right? It's going to come down to who I know the best, and it's going to come down to Jordan or Brady. I think
it's Brady.
Those are the two fair arguments. Jordan did not lose in the finals one time, but for Brady to win 7 and go so many, it's
he was playing janitors in the NBA finals. Okay,
but also like he lost before the finals many times.
Several.
Like I don't get he never lost in the finals. It's like because they were the best team. Like.
Duh.
He lost many times in the conference finals. He lost in the first round, I think, early in his career. The whole he didn't lose in the finals. All right.
Yeah, it's like they beat the Bulls, they beat the Blazers in 5, and the guy was selling insurance the next day.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he's still epic. Brady's that dude. But I liked someone responded. I got to get more active in the Facebook group. There's a lot of things to get active in. Someone said I was going to say Messi. It was a good take by them. It was a good bit. And they said I'm probably not wrong because Messi and Ronaldo.
What's Messi up to right now?
What's he up to? He's in Paris hanging out. Just
are they doing anything?
Yeah, they're getting through Champions League right now.
I feel like I hear about Ronaldo.
The formula.
I haven't heard about Messi at all.
Well, that's because Cristiano Ronaldo's playing for Manchester United, the biggest club in the world.
It's really that much of a difference, huh? I kind of always thought of them on the same plane.
Week in, week out, Cristiano, Manchester United, Premier League, way bigger U.S. audience. Week in, week out, Messi's playing in Paris against a bunch of small clubs in and around the country of France. Yeah, France. But it'll heat up for Messi big time, kind of towards the turn of the year. Champions League will start to go into knockout stages.
Are they going to play each other? That'd be lit.
Manchester United is so bad right now.
Oh, so they're not going to be in the
Champions
League.
It would be a shock. It would be
unfortunate.
And the reason Ronaldo keeps coming up is because they keep either winning by 1 goal in the last minute because he scores, or they tie because
he's got the team on his back, right?
Fully on his back, and everyone else is shook because of it.
All right, so Tony Flores asked an important question.
Tony.
Says, are you guys coming to the Chicago Sports Spectacular this month?
I really want to go to a show, but I'm not Chicago.
What's wrong with the Chicago show? It's the same place the Nationals held.
I gotta get on a plane and go to Chicago.
But bro, it's brick out there right now. It's November. Chicago. For a car show. I'm going south. Yeah, Key West car show?
Yeah.
Pull up.
Miami Beach car show. What's going on?
I am hoping to go Friday. Ohio State plays Michigan.
Oh, you're going?
I'm hoping to go Friday, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry, we just buried your show that you're going to.
It's all good. It's one of the best shows in the country.
I've heard it's a very good show.
And I've been clamoring for shows.
Yeah.
But I was hoping maybe a Atlanta show.
I think unless you're someone like Ryan, it's very difficult to rationalize more than a 2-hour drive for me to a show.
Well, he's also in Cleveland. Sorry.
Columbus. Yeah. It's 6.5 hours.
Close.
Almost got half that right.
Sounds like he's a little sensitive.
I'm saying it's cold out there. So they call it's like Chicago, Ohio.
Yikes. Let's move on.
Luke Horton said, outside of the obvious, cards and NFTs, what other hobbies do you dabble in, or would you? Golf. In.
Is pretty much my life outside of working, living, eating, breathing. cards, NFTs, golf.
Yeah, it's like cards. It's like life, reg,
Yeah.
life, friends. Then
Yep.
it's like cards, real close second, almost like intertwined.
Yeah.
And
Part
then
of the
it's
mix.
like Ohio State football, real close after that. And
Mhm.
then it's like golf, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. That's all I got time for is those.
I love that. We got to get on the links. Lou?
I like
You
to
do.
golf. I'm not
You get
very
on the
good at
sticks,
it.
though.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
like
video
definitely
games.
Lou and I are probably more comparable. Like Tyler's like a PGA Tour pro, so I think that's
No.
important point out here. I've seen
No
Tyler
shot.
golf. I've seen.
I know
think-
Tyler. I know Tyler scores.
I can play decent golf, but I'm not no PGA. I'm an 8 handicap, so like we're getting.
Yeah, I'm a
there.
video
I'm not
game
8
guy
handicap,
through.
brother.
Lou is a video game guy.
Yes, hardcore.
Ryan, I think
Lou,
I
what
might
video
start.
game? What video game console?
I don't have a console. I have a computer.
Oh, interesting.
PC.
Yeah, I built a
gaming.
computer during early COVID, and I've been gaming on
What
that.
controller
Yeah,
do you
okay.
use?
I have an Xbox Elite controller with the paddles on the back.
Yeah, see, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not anywhere near all that tech savvy for that.
I'm thinking about starting the NFGA, the NFT Golf Association. You got to own one of the NFTs to be part of the
It's a good idea, honestly.
club. A couple tournaments around the country.
That's a really good idea, actually.
All right, this is one we've talked about a couple times.
We
I
should
know
cut
we've
that.
talked about this a lot. Actually, I think typically around Dallas, but Nick Tant asks a good question. It says card show setup, prices on the front or the back of the slab, and why. So we talk about this a lot. I think it is super important to have cards on price on the front of the card. The less somebody has to ask you, the better, right? Like if somebody's going to ask every single card, like somebody might be willing to buy all of them, then they got to ask the price and everything. Typically, I've been an advocate that like if you don't have prices on most of them, I'm not typically one to stop. I might ask a price on 1 or 2 cards, but if we're not close on the 1 or 2 cards I ask about, I'm just not even going to ask about anything else I might have interest in. It's a lot easier to find something that I think if it's priced, but that's just, again, that's more personal preference. Ty, you look like you're like.
So I went to the notebook strategy, and the notebook strategy was huge for me, where I had everything. I had all my cards, my whole inventory priced out in my notebook. So someone would come up, how much? Boom, I check the notebook and give them the price. It was like a mid-show pivot at National. I loved it. It held me down. We can refer to prior shows where I think I was really raving about it because it did me solid.
Lou?
I'm a fan of the sticker price on the front and then the drop dead price on the back. I think, a lot of people are going to be like, why do you have a price that's too high on the front? If you think every single person is in negotiating a card show that walks up to your table, you're lying to yourself. Every single person will try to negotiate with you no matter what. So you're better off just having a number on the back that you're comfortable with, so you don't have to pull up eBay in the middle of it back and forth. You just trust the number on the back, and that's it.
That's why I go notebook. It's like,
yeah, same thing.
What energy are you walking up to the table with? How are we trying to dance here?
All right, so this is the last one. I think this is an interesting question because I think this is important. Bryce Pelkey said, what is the biggest bad play you've made? Which players did you buy in on potential talent that never worked out in the eyes of the hobby?
I have one in progress right now that I think might end up being an L.
What is it?
Joe Adele.
Yeah.
Angels outfielder. I think
Interesting.
it's been 2 tough years for that guy, so might be in a little bit of trouble on those.
I probably have a list of about 50 people that I can think of off the top of my head. Just start naming a couple. We'll get through a few. Nathan Peterman lost a shit ton of money on. That hurt.
That guy's been a loser since the beginning.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, but when he started and then threw 5 picks in one game, that was bad. Andrew Luck, actually, like talent-wise, was good. Definitely cost me some money. Martavis Bryant, love the talent. Don't like the weed. That one hurt a little bit.
Stay off the weed.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith
Dude was talented. Haskins, I definitely lost some money on Haskins. Dude's got some stuff going on in his world. Hate to see it. Tough scene. Got that.
Ooh.
Who else? David Cobb, Titans running back from Minnesota.
David Cobb.
David Cobb, that one hurt. Who else we got? I mean, the list goes on. And I think that, like, Tyler's pulling out some of them, showing if you're not watching. He's pulled out a bunch of random soccer guys. But I think that's part of like learning in the hobby, though, right? Not you're not going to hit on everybody 100% of the time. Yeah, just it happens. Part of the overall experience.
Part of the game.
I think mine is 2. Mine, yeah, every OSU quarterback. But
Jay, talking a lot about OSU quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Let's get an update from Jason on how his Corey Davis investments doing.
Oh,
Yikes!
buried him.
My man Jay talked a lot of shit before Card Talk started about Corey Davis and how he was going to be a huge flip this year. Jay, how's that?
He's a nice guy.
Buried him on Corey Davis.
Corey Davis is a nice guy.
Jason,
this is not a bad one.
I just wanted to get a little quick take.
Corey Davis hurt. True.
Well,
it's yeah, you can't count it. He's hurt.
All right, my L's are right now Christian Pulisic.
That's an L?
That's an L.
Right now, it's an L based on the sizable investment that I made in the man.
Ugh.
It's an L at the moment.
America.
He's
the
not
future
playing.
of our country. He's the future of our country.
Back. We're playing Mexico.
He's the future Mexico.
Ty, you want to get out of that bad investment? Let me know.
This puppy's staying home. I bought this raw, baby. This is one of the first cards I purchased on eBay. Firing
Ty,
from the
there's
hip.
got to be a worse investment you've made than Christian Pulisic.
Oh, I got my cards from Ryan too.
The other one is Joao Felix.
Hey, Lou, I think you did pretty well in those, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I did pretty good too. I also think you guys wouldn't submit anything that wouldn't at least 8. And like, I think I'm going to send all these other ones
Keep
to
this
BGS.
card,
BGS, okay.
Virgil.
All right,
We're just showing off cards now.
Yeah, we're just doing show and tell. But Joao Felix, I got in early enough where it's not a bad investment, but like,
he not going to be good.
It was the biggest bet that I made. Long term, potentially, but
I mean, I just searched his name, and the first thing says why Liverpool should sign Joao Felix. So that'd be good.
Should. Like, maybe he's got legs long term, but right now, based on, for me, look, I'm in a very fortunate and grateful position. There was a lot of things that got bought, and even I'm in the black, I guess you say, on Felix. But like, if I went on Mbappe, what I did on Felix, or if I made other decisions, so that's what I think. The biggest L I made was the Interleague Jordan 8. It's half the price that I bought it for.
I just wanted to. I didn't actually tell you guys this, I don't think.
Oh, big news.
I bought my first F1 Dynasty auto the other day.
What do we got?
I bought my first Dynasty auto.
Charles?
Leclerc,
yeah,
Charles Leclerc PSA 9 nice. Dynasty RPA or patch auto out of 5 PSA 9.
Have you that's awesome. Have you considered what's going to happen next year when they put out 2021 Dynasty? Because a lot of people are like it's going to be exactly the same, but I'm like it's still the first one.
Yeah, I agree. First year will always matter if the product matters in time. If F1 cards matter in time, first one will matter.
Interesting.
This is a banger card.
So I bought some F1 cards on.
Judy's like, let's get out of here.
Saturday night.
Judy's
all right, so we're gonna get into play of the week. Play of the week is gonna be a little quick this time, as we don't have a whole lot of time left. But play of the week is brought to you by eBay, your #1 stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so if you're new here, this is when Jason gives us the plays. We see them in real time without ever seeing them prior. All right, so this is K Hutch 013. So Kyle says, still a huge fan of the pod. I bought a Hero Red Optic out of 99 for $100 in RBI Crew 7's online store. This was the first week of the NBA season, and Tyler was playing amazing. I immediately listed on eBay for $250, and it sold a few days later. It goes to show you can always check your local con shop's online inventory for good steals. I will attest to this. There are cards that we have listed on our website that people click, and I'm like, shoot, I can't even believe that was listed.
That's why I go notebook strategy at the show.
Shout out to him for being resourceful. Ty, any thoughts on Tyler Hero or this play?
Yeah, he's playing well, but so is Grayson Allen.
6th man of the year, Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
guy's a beast.
He's playing well. I respect him.
Good play.
Yeah,
but Grayson Allen's still playing well. I love
the resourcefulness of looking at and shout out to him. The good deal thing's cool, but support an LCS. I'm all for that. Obviously, owning a local card store, but even outside of that,
you own a card store?
Yeah. Love the LCS support. So Kyle, nice play.
Jay, next.
All right, this is from MMA Cardboard. It says, here's my play of the week. I don't have much time to go to shows regularly, so I go over to ComC listings as I would dollar boxes at shows. In April of 2020, I bought a 2011 Dustin Poirier Gold Rookie number to 88 for 85 cents on ComC. Pick. Poirier had just lost to Khabib, and his prices were low. I submitted the card to BGS before the price hike and them closing. This card came back at 9. Since that loss, Poirier is 3-0, beating Dan Hooker and Conor McGregor twice.
Yeah,
he's next in line for a title shot. Listed the card on eBay and listened to offers. I accepted an offer of $775. See the pick. Not a bad ROI for an 85-cent card. Panini UFC products have brought a lot of new UFC card collectors to the hobby, but don't sleep on the OG 2009 to 2020 Topps UFC releases.
It's a really good pull.
He's a beast. I was at UFC. I've gotten more sick as this show goes on. I was at UFC on Saturday night. It was sick.
Yeah, UFC Live is like a very...
Chandler Gaethje was another level, and this dude Poirier is a beast. Pretty much ended Conor's career twice.
Conor will be back, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 85
It's a great
cents,
pull.
resourceful, getting in on it early. I mean, it's hard to beat. Hard to argue with that. All right, Jay.
Respect.
This is from Slabs and Kicks 9-6. Hopefully this one makes it at least on the show. Make a play. He said,
I love this.
A lot of Lewis base from Lou in September for $110. And a couple days later, I joined an F1 card group on Facebook where I posted that card that I was looking for Sergio Chico Perez cards. Someone offered me an orange and a 25 straight trade for my Lewis base. I even got paid for the shipping on the Hamilton. Knowing that Chico was part of the Red Bull teammate of Max, I knew his cards were undervalued, so I made this trade. Knowing the Mexico GP was soon, I decided to list it on eBay for $379 Oboe.
Go.
It sold last week for $325. Got paid $285, more than twice what I paid for the Hamilton. Huge fan of Checo and Red Bull, but got to keep the ball rolling for better purchases. Shout out to Lou for putting me into F1. Big fan of the show.
Let's go. I'm pumped about that. Yeah,
That's amazing.
I had some extras that I wasn't grading or whatever, and I sold some of them. I looked to the right and I was like, I know that name, and I looked to the left and I saw myself, and I got very confused. I was like, oh no, did I just get played?
Slabs and Kicks 96, baby.
It's a great job.
Yeah,
Wait, so you bought mine and then he joined our Facebook group and bought another. Is that what it was?
No, he bought yours, joined a Facebook group, posted it, and then was interested in Checo, traded for it, got the orange for the Lewis he got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a much better play than I realized.
And you got him into F1. He came to you, bought your card, flipped it on the
huge.
1-2.
Oh, I'm pumped. This is going to be the winner for me, just so we know. All right, next one.
No, it's kind of hard.
It's over.
All right, so this is from Brendan.
Wait, never mind. No, it's not over.
Brendan, is it
Slamorama
on Twitter? It says, my submission for play of the week, not a big wrestling card guy, but notice how much WWE is pushing Roman Reigns. Did some research and found he doesn't have many rookies. I bought his 2011 FCW RC rookie PSA 7 for $125 in January. The kicker here is it's a pop 2, none higher. I ended up listing on eBay recently and accepted an offer for $1,300. 11 times my return in 10-month span, and will use the profits towards a high-grade Gretzky OPC rookie for the PC.
That's phenomenal. That's a great pull on the FCW. For anyone who doesn't know, FCW is like a minor league wrestling kind of deal where guys go where they start off, especially WWE guys. It's a great pull. It's a great job. I don't know how it was $125 though. That's a great job.
Checking pop reports on a PSA 7. That's oof. Would have never expected that. I would have never been like, oh, PSA 7, let's check pop. That's crazy.
That's good work right there.
All right, Jay, is that it? Nope, last one. So this is swook _ on IG. Says, here's one Tyler might appreciate. Back in July, I bought a Franz Beckenbauer rookie sticker for about $1,500 all in via eBay. Beckenbauer is a legend in the footy game, and my thought at the time was to find underrated and underappreciated GOATs, aside from the big names like Pele, Maradona, etc. This card checked the boxes in terms of rarity, eye appeal, and overall relevance to the sport itself. These stickers are very condition sensitive, with only 2 above a PSA 5. I held the card in my vault for a few months, then sold within a day of listing it for $5,000 on my slabs. I'm also a firm believer that well-taken photos will 100% increase overall appeal in the listing. Side note, I definitely agree with that. To summarize, I put $1,500 in and came out with $5,000 in around 3 months, which I will take any day.
Wow, this play of the week segment is insane.
Yeah, the last 3 have been on fire.
Oh my goodness. This isn't work right here. This is July 8th. I mean,
that's pretty good. These are wild.
That's a play right there.
I love how both of them are like very condition sensitive with only 2 above PSA 5. Doing the research on
dialed in, yo. Dialed in.
Dialed in. That's the best way to describe it. Focused.
And Franz Beckenbauer, like, he's not a fringe guy, but like, you at least need to know what you're doing to.
You gotta be a fan.
$1,500 into him, like, I respect it.
Great job.
There's still every week this segment blows
Jay,
me
can you
away.
go back through him again?
Blows me away. That 10x.
The Poirier is like insane. Actually, they're all insane. They're all
85 cents.
I mean, dude bought a Poirier for 85 cents and sold for $775. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he graded. What do you think it cost us to grade it? $70, $75?
No, this is before they closed. This is when it would have been less than like 35 or $40.
So he's probably all into the card for call of $50.
Yeah, $50. Made over 700.
Unbelievable. What a
And
week.
he bought it right on the dip. Bought it on the dip right after he got smoked.
I would say this is
the
best week we've ever had on Play of the Week.
I think that's right.
Crazy. That card, buying a card for $1,500 is not like something to fucking mess around with.
I want to take slabs and kicks. I'm going to pick the Roman Reigns play, though. I'm going to give wrestling some
Ty,
love.
you talked a lot. We've talked a lot about this on Card Talk before, though, about like the underappreciated GOATs. I mean, my man went out there and did some digging on this, found out low pop stuff. I mean, this is like the Roman Reigns one is crazy to go in and do it. Find Lou said it's like his like minor league wrestling card. I'm like,
wrestling people don't get mad at me. It's FCW is like a training ground for young WWE talent. Thank you.
Up and coming. It's a breeding ground.
I mean, I like the play. Like, I want to pick the F1 because I'm hot on F1.
I don't even know where to go or what to do or how to say it. They
did
smoke Lou.
Smoke me. I gave him a good deal.
It was a good. It was a win-win-win-win.
Yes, killed me.
I mean, at 85 cents,
you could have swapped it and sold it for $285.
Yeah, you know I could have. Sorry for being good to the community. I didn't know that Ryan was all about money. This is sad.
Oh, I mean, this is. Guy bought
the fact that
number to 88 card for 85 cents.
Like, respectfully, the fact that this card has no chance in my mind speaks to how crazy the week is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
I'm going with Roman Reigns.
You went Roman Reigns. All right.
Yep.
Rye?
I like them all. Like I said, I mean, if you go through them again, right? You got the Tyler Hero, checking your local card store. I like everything about that. Finding a card, doubling up your money pretty quick. Love that play. Buying a card for 85 cents and selling it for $775 is definitely no like small play there, right? That's like value box to the extreme. Like that. Then you go to the F1 play, right? Buying a card for 100, joining an F1 group, getting involved, making a trade, making the play, getting an orange card, knowing the Grand Prix is coming up in Mexico. Like, love that. Then you get the Roman Reigns finding his like minor league card, realizing that there's only a pop 2 as a PSA 7 and there's nothing higher. And then going and doing research on underappreciated or underpriced GOATs, finding a dude for $1,500. There's nothing above a PSA 5 with only 2 above a PSA 5. And then selling it for $5,000 within 1 day of listing it. Wild.
Truly wild. So I'm breaking it down for me between Poirier, because I've seen him wax McGregor the last 2 fights. And I think buying off of him catching an L on low prices is commendable. The old buy the dip, chips with the dip. I'm into play.
So Ty, while you're thinking, again, I've kind of explained my thought process on all of them, why I like them. The ultimate play to me is this. This is the Poirier's my play. I will go with Poirier this week. I think, again, I would pick any of these most weeks. This week, I'm going with Poirier.
Just a buzzsaw of a week.
What?
A buzzsaw of a week.
Crazy. Best week we've ever had. To find
sure.
a card for $1,
Yeah.
and to sell it for
Yeah.
$775, that is the play. Like that's
Man.
crazy to me.
Man.
All the other ones are amazing. We could pick
That's
any
MMA
of these.
cardboard.
These are all good. 85 cents to $775. That's my winner.
Also, does that say he bought 2 of them?
I was wondering what that said. It says listing number.
Oh, so then it's not like number you bought or whatever.
Correct.
Damn, what a week.
What a week. I've got Poirier as well. I love the Franz play, but I think MMA cardboard takes it. I do have a little mini announcement that the boys may not even know of yet, but we've cooked this up. What we're going to start doing, there's something called POAP.
Oh,
where
that's what
pretty
we talked
much
about last week, right?
So the winner is going to receive a custom one-on-one POAP, which is a form of an NFT on Ethereum that's going to signify that you won. It's going to say, I won play of the week with that date, have a little design.
Can we get in on this?
And each one's going to get.
Did you win
Yeah,
play of the
one of
week?
this. Yeah.
I'm just saying, am I allowed to win play of the week?
Have you submitted a play of the week? Jay did.
If you think I'm picking your play of the week ever, you're out of your mind.
Jay got buried. Jay wanted the POAP.
No, Jay
So
buried
that-
himself, in case you forgot.
Jay did bury himself. He came on and talked himself out of a W.
Yeah.
You
anybody that
never
doesn't
keep
negotiate
selling
can't
once
win
they've
play of the
already
week.
decided to buy.
The POAP will be fun.
So we're
That's
gonna do the
cool.
POAP. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're pumped about that. So shout out MMA Cardboard. Good work. What a
Very,
week.
very cool.
Unreal. Good work, Jay.
I had no chance against Jimmy. True.
Yeah. Before we get into the latest launch, as we wrap this up, we've got about 2 minutes. Shout out to the people for really taking on Jemmy. I mean, that's a thing.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy's
I did an interview this past week,
Weird flex.
and my man broke out the Jemmy.
He broke it out. That's
He
awesome.
broke it out mid-interview. I was like, whoa.
All right, so real quick, latest launch this week. You've got Triple Threads Baseball, OPG Platinum Hockey, National Treasures Baseball, Flawless Collegiate Football, and Topps Stadium Club Chrome Baseball. So a lot of baseball this week. NT Baseball, Triple Threads Baseball, Stadium Club Chrome. You got an OPG Platinum Hockey, and one of my personal favorites of the year, Flawless Collegiate, high-end collegiate football stuff. Big
You
fan
love
of
it?
like Ohio State patches, just cool college cards. College football is my stuff. So
Just a little sidebar. Did you guys see what the Jokic brothers tweeted at Markieff Morris?
Did they? I saw they
Yeah.
were in the stands looking like
who did?
y'all
The-
don't want
the-
to mess.
Jokic's brothers, they have a Twitter account, and they tweeted at Morris and said, "You should leave this the way it is instead of publicly threatening our brother. Your brother made a dirty play first. If you want to make a step further, be sure we will be waiting for you." Jokic brothers. It's a scary crew.
The brothers. You don't want to fucking
Scary
brothers. And he
crew.
did. But first off, if I was Jokic, I mean, the little blind move is like, but he could have snuck him too. But man came up in his rib cage at half. Like he's a franchise player. It's a reigning MVP. Put some respect on my name.
I didn't see anything.
you
The
role
only thing I
player.
saw, wow. The only thing I saw was the cheap shot, and then I saw Jimmy like try to get in his face.
These
Jimmy
Euro
sounds
fouls
crazy.
are like now the thing in the NBA that everyone has to take over. That just to like slow down the game, whatever. They just foul at half, take the foul, and they're like Euro fouls. If there's like a
What does that mean?
3-on-2 or like a situation that's like not favorable for the defense to
They
like
just foul?
cut transition, they'll foul, and
That's
it's just
annoying.
like take it out on the side. So Jokic
hate
is taking the
basketball,
ball
man.
up, and it's like a little fast breaky, and he gets to half, and he pulls up to like pass the ball, and Morris comes and like fouls him like right in the rib cage, like on some like I'm taking the foul, but gave him like a little whatever.
Extra?
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
he,
kind
like,
of his
bounces
thing. He does
back,
that a lot.
and he bounces back, and the dude starts walking away, and he just runs over there, boom, sends him
Yikes,
flying.
bro.
But then everyone was shook of Jokic right on the court. You could see it, as you should. The Balkan man right there.
That is a Balkan man.
And that's how we're gonna end it.
Yeah.
Jokic brothers tweeting.
It's been a week.
Jokic brothers.
What a week! What an episode! Shout out to
Peace.
everybody. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.